Hello everyone, welcome to this course on Exadata Cloud Service Patching. My name is Bal Sharma. I am part of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure team. Before we get into this course, this is our safe harbor statement. I will take a pause here so that you can read it. So objectives for this session is going to be around understanding the patching facilities in Exadata Cloud Service. There could be some manual patching scenarios which are applicable for Exadata Cloud Service, so we'll take a look at it. How to patch the compute nodes operating system, and I will point out what instructions to follow around that. We'll also look at patching performed by Oracle and Exadata Cloud Service quarterly release updates. We will look at various tools for applying as well as rolling back the patches. We will also try to understand the log files for analysis or any kind of known issues when we start with the patching. We will also focus on the best practices for patching Exadata Cloud Service environments, and then one of the topic will focus on ExaCheck utility, which we normally recommend for doing before any patching or upgrade kind of scenarios. So when it comes to patching facilities, Exadata Cloud Service provides different kind of tools to manage the routine patching of Oracle database as well as grid infrastructure software. And these facilities are provided by exadbcpatchmulti-Utility. Customers are responsible for managing patches and updates to Oracle database and grid infrastructure software on the compute nodes. The patching operations which are supported by Exadata Cloud Service is around exadbc patch multi command. You would be able to list out any available patches. You should be able to do the prerequisite checks before applying a patch, then followed with applying a patch, listing any applied patches on the system. In case you want to roll back, you would be able to do that using the tools provided by Exadata Cloud Service in case of a failed patches or scenarios. So Oracle database and grid infrastructure software, there could be some manual patching scenarios, and Oracle basically recommends you to use the facilities provided by Exadata Cloud Service to perform any routine patching of database as well as GI. Sometimes you may want to apply a patch manually to database and grid infrastructure software, and these situations could be around OJVM patch or DST patching or any kind of non-routine patching. So patches for Java virtual machine OJVM component of database cannot generally be applied in a rolling fashion, and that's the reason it is not included in the routine patch set which is provided by Exadata Cloud Service. So in order to apply OJVM patching in your environment, like you can take a look at the link here, Java VM components, database PSU and RU for getting that done. So when it comes to DST patching for this daylight saving time definition in database cannot be applied in a rolling fashion again, and that's the reason like it is not included as part of the routine patch set which is available in Exadata Cloud Service. So you need to follow a specific instruction which is outlined here. Sometimes you might encounter a problem and that might require a patch which is not included in any routine patch set. So you need to work with Oracle support services to identify as well as apply any appropriate patches to the environment. So when it comes to patching the compute node operating systems, DOM-U is always owned by you, and that's why you are responsible for managing patches as well as updates to the operating system environment on all of the compute nodes. And for doing that one, you need to look into the standard Exadata tools and techniques, and the link here highlights how to update the Oracle Linux database servers in any Exadata database machine, and it is part of database machine maintenance guide. So by following that, you are able to apply Exadata software release updates to the compute nodes based on your convenience. And for feature and release update only, Oracle recommends you to open up a service request and work with Oracle support so that you can make sure that Oracle is aware of your plans. So a feature release update is just an update that changes any of the first 4 digits in the Exadata software release identifier. For example, if you are upgrading the Exadata software release uh, 12.12.20 to release 12.12.30, that is going to be a feature release update. But if you want to upgrade the software release 12.12.30 to 12.12.34, so that is not considered a feature release update. So you can determine the current Exadata software release by executing image info command on any one of your compute node by root user. And for more information on this topic, this link here outlines the steps which are needed in order to update the operating system. So basically what we do as part of operating system upgrade is like in any XRCS configuration you have at least two compute nodes. So one of the node 1 will patch the node 2, and node 2 is going to patch the node 1. After following the patch manager process, the binaries are downloaded to a file system in the environment, and you are going to follow the same process which is mentioned in the database machine maintenance guide. So looking at the patching which is performed by Oracle, so patches and updates to the other system components are managed and performed by Oracle, and that includes basically DOM0, network switches, PDUs, ILOMs, and the Exadata storage server. So in some of the exceptional situations, you will receive an advanced communication about these updates through your cloud notification portal, which will help you plan for the activity. If there are any corresponding recommended updates for your compute node virtual machine environment, Oracle is going to provide you a notification about the same. So there is no option to opt out of any updates. Scheduled updates are mostly performed in a manner which will preserve your service availability throughout the update process. So there could be some noticeable impact on performance and throughout as an individual system components are unavailable for a period of time during the update process. For example, like compute node may need to be rebooted when a service is updated. So in such kind of situations, the compute node would be rebooted in a rolling manner. That way, like it will make sure your services are not completely affected. More details around update policies and practices are highlighted here in this link, which you can go through. So looking at the quarterly patch release for Exadata Cloud Customers, so few of the important points you have to remember is like you have to make sure the cloud tooling on all of the nodes are recent. That can be updated using the standard practices, either using dbus CLI commands or any other method. You should be updating to the latest tool before attempting any patches as well as upgrades. All database nodes should have the same version of cloud tooling. You can also keep a backup of exadbcpatch.cfg before cloud tooling updates, and this operation can be executed at any time without impacting the performance. Oracle delivers the patch bundle in two ways for Exadata Cloud Customers. So one is through existing provision system, which is delivered via patches, and Oracle also provides the new provisioning system, means new images available, which is also highlighted under MOS ID 2.3.3.2.1. So what is behind the patching? There are APIs available from Oracle, and that is known as exadbc patch multi. So this is the tool to apply as well as roll back the patches. You can use the exadbc patch multi utility to perform the assisted patching operation for grid infrastructure as well as database on Exadata Cloud Service. So this is located under var opt Oracle under exa patch folder on each of the compute nodes. This tool also requires the root privilege or the root login to perform all the administration tasks. So it uses cloud specific tooling which is included in the Exadata Cloud Service compute nodes, and also the specific patch may require functionality provided by a specific version of the tool, and that is the reason like we say that you need to be updating your cloud tooling before attempting the patches. So exadbc patch multi is basically a wrapper for exadbc patch SM, and exadbc patch SM is a wrapper for exadbc patch. So the invocation goes from exadbc patch multi to exadbc patch sm and exadbc patch. So on XRCS environments, you don't have to update this exadbc patch.cfg file. In order to update the latest version of cloud tooling, you can use the same tool exadbc patch with the argument as list_tools. So what list_tools will do, like it will look into the inventory and find out like which specific version of cloud tooling you have in your environment, and then any newer tool which is available from Oracle. So once you get the latest available cloud tooling, you can again use the exadbc patch command tool inst rpm version equals to latest, or if you want to specify a patch id, which you will get as part of the list tools command output. So this command is going to update the cloud tooling with the latest version available for your environment. Once like you update this one, like it is going to provide you a transaction ID, and you will be able to also track the progress of that particular patching or tool update using get status command. So there are details which is already posted on this link which you can take a look at. There are other ways also. So exadbc patch, as I said, we have several APIs like dbus CLI also provide you a way to update this tooling. So for doing that one, you can log in to your root user and then use dbus CLI. It will provide you with a dbus prompt, and then you can take a look at the help. It will list out several commands which is possible, and you can find out which command is needed in order to update the tools, cloud tooling on the environment. And that also uses the same exadbc patch multi behind the scene. So in order to apply the patches, first thing what you want to do is to you want to list the available patch for your Oracle home, and for doing that one, the command is like var opt oracle patch exadbc patch multi list patches, and you need to provide the Oracle home. So -oh will take an argument hostname colon the Oracle home. You can have multiple homes available within your environment, so you provide that, and SSH keys are optional in case like SSH equivalence is not set. So list is going to verify the patch present in OSS container and get the patch number to be applied for your environment. So here in this example, like I have provided Oracle home as xtprod n53 colon the Oracle home, which I want to see like what patches are available for this particular home. Once like you are able to list the patches, then you want to know that if we can apply the patch, and it is the same concept, like you want to do a pre-check in your environment to do readiness for your patching. So in that case, like you can specify pre-check underscore async with the patch ID, and patch ID can take argument as instance 1 or instance 2 with the hostname colon Oracle home associated. And you can also provide the DB name equals to the database name for which you want to do the pre-check. So you can use these commands in multiple combinations. Basically, you can specify the database name, and again the arguments are pre-check underscore async patch ID hyphen DB name equals to the database on which you want to do a pre-check. So few of the examples of prerequisite patch. So here we have specified exadbc patch multi hyphen pre-check underscore async and the patch ID. So 27968010 is my patch ID, and then I'm passing in instance 1 equals to the first node colon the Oracle home. Then for second instance, again the host name of that second instance colon the database home. By using database name, like you can again specify the patch ID here, and then database name BMS prod. So if it is running on both compute nodes, 2 instances, automatically it would be able to provide you the prerequisites pre-check output. So once you have done with your prerequisite patch, you would be able to apply the patch. So as I said in the beginning, like you can also use dbus CLI command And Diva CLI can also provide you the prerequisites, like you would be able to list which patches are available. Commands are simple, like patch db list --oh, and you will provide the host name colon the database home, and it will check for all the available patches, and then it also provide you output, like how you can do a pre-check or like apply that one using Diva CLI patch db apply command. So for applying this patch using exadbcpatchmulti, you have to pass the apply underscore async with the patch ID, and in the same format, like instance 1 is going to have host name and the database home, same ways like for instance 2. So this is one of the example. I'm trying to apply a patch here. So this is just for example 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So you are passing instances here. Instance 1 equals to the host name colon the Oracle home, and then you have also ability to specify the data SQL, like from which node it is going to execute, and I have provided data SQL will be executed from node 1 here with -run data SQL command. The another example is I specify the database name here, and database name with the patch information which you have already got from using the list command. So nothing changes like when it comes to grid patching. Like in grid patching, the database name will be the grid database name, the ASM instance, and the database home is going to be the grid home. So once you have applied a patch, if you get into issues, you might want to roll it back. So for rolling back again, you will be using the same API exadbcpatchmulti, and with argument as rollback underscore async and patch ID, and from which instance you want to roll it back. So whether with instance name you want to go, or with just with the database name. So this example exadbcpatchmulti rollback async the patch ID and the database name equals to, and you need to also pass the like from which node you will be running the data SQL, and I'm providing one as input here. So once you have applied patches, for listing any kind of applied patches, you can always go to like basically use the opatch utility, which is available within both grid infrastructure as well as database home. And for doing that one, you will connect to the compute node, log in as Oracle user. You can set the Oracle home variable to the location of database installation you wish to examine, and if you have multiple database homes, you want to set that using export command, or you can use ORINV to set the environment. And then like under Oracle home, you have a opatch directory which has opatch binary with the executable. So with ls patches, it would be able to list you out all the patches which are applied in the environment. So same thing like you can do with the grid user, go to grid home and use opatch ls patches, and they will come up with list of applied patches for the environment. So what if like you get into patching issues? So there are few locations which should be handy. One is var opt oracle log. The other one could be var opt oracle log and exadbcpatchmulti, var opt oracle log exadbcpatchm, and exadbcpatch. So these are the locations basically you will be looking at. So each node will have a exadbcpatch.log, and exadbcpatchmulti-log will be only on one node from where you have started the patching. So this provides sometimes a better idea on what's going on. Some of the common issues or known bugs, like if you have incorrect entries in etc ora tab, so that could be one of the point like you want to correct it before attempting the patching. If database is not using SP file, you might get into situations. So make sure databases are started with SP file. Exadata Cloud Service system having more than 1 DB in single Oracle home. So currently multi-database home is not supported, but sooner we can have the support for shared Oracle homes. Running any custom listeners or services in the home, or database fails to start up after failing the patch. So these could be some of the known issues, and like we have work around that. So you might or might not get into, but it is always a good idea to open up a proactive service request before attempting this patching. In case you have a data guard environment in Exadata Cloud Service, uh, so they can take advantage of data guard patching before applying any patch on the primary instances. So for example, here I'm considering we have a primary database instance L1 and a standby instance is L2. So considering like both of these databases are running on two nodes in a rack cluster, so L11 and L12 belongs to the primary database, and L12 and L22 belongs to the standby database. So tool will apply the patch on L21, and then it will do on L22, and then it will come to L12 and then on L11 and run the data patch on L11, like when all the nodes are already patched. So task of exadbc patch multi in case of a data guard scenario is like finding which one is active or inactive nodes, find which one is primary or standby, then finding the number of nodes within the environment, and then finding the last node where it is going to execute the data SQL. So it will also find the standby nodes name as well as primary nodes name. So let's take a look at ExaCS patching best practices. So you should be pulling out basically exacheck report from both the nodes, and you can use the syntax exacheck local only provided with the database name, or like you can redirect the output in a text file. And these exacheck outputs always point you out if anything is missing or like something which needs your attention even before applying the patches. So that is a good idea to take exacheck report. You should be also running the Cluffy, and it will capture all the output for individual files. So from grid home, you can run the command like post crsinst -n all verbose, or like ACFS related configurations, or like the components of the software. So these commands basically going to help you in case if anything goes wrong. So it is always a best practice. Not necessarily you have to do this, but just to avoid any issue, if you have time, like you can look into these and gather these inputs. You should be also checking for all the file system spaces, like you can make sure that databases are running by using servicetl commands. You will be knowing the status of them. Look at the etc ora tab entries just for consistency across all the nodes. Make sure for a given Oracle home there should be only one entry per home which points to a database name in etc ora tab. So another thing is like exa patch prerequisite output as a root user. So you can always get a pre-check output before attempting the patching. You should be also able to look into dbus diag tool. You can run it on both the nodes as root, and the mouse node 221971.2.1 highlights how to run it. While running, you can take care of like TFL logs as well, and these information will be handy for you, like if you get into any kind of situations. You should be also able to take the output from dbus CFS directory on both the nodes, because as part of the patching, like these directories are going to get basically the required binaries or the patch related checks happens from these directories, right? Like it will get the patches downloaded there, so you have to make sure like they have enough space. And another thing is like dbus tool RPM should be updated to the latest on both the nodes, and this is always a good practice to update your cloud tooling before any patching. Also verify the central inventory and node inventories are consistent across all the nodes, meaning inventory.xml on both nodes is consistent. There should not be any like no home deleted or created outside the inventory. All existing homes or DVs in the inventory should be created from tooling. Make sure that like existing Oracle home are not moved or relocated using any attach home or detach home options. Also, point number 11 is like making sure you have this shrept.lst command. You can take a note at MOS 1587532.1 Basically, this file is needed for relinking of binaries, so making sure like they are intact on both the nodes. Verifying exadbc patch CFG, it should not contain any entries. Basically, OSS contain a URL or GI home or patch homes, so leave it blank like as with the default entries. Verify the central inventory and node inventories, like we have already covered. So O patch ls patches shows the same patch list on all the nodes. So these points are nothing but just a best practice, not exactly needed, but if you have this information for any mission critical system, like you can avoid any unwanted issues, like you will have things in hand before you attempt any patch. And how to run exacs, right? So exacs exacheck utility. So the MOS note is there is a MOS note like which will provide you how to run exacheck utility. If you are already familiar with running it in on-prem environment, the commands are going to be almost similar. This can be downloaded if you don't have already. So it is recommended to be on the latest version of exacheck, because that can capture more information. So at point of like at the point where I was writing this, that this was the patch 18622.611, so 1840 was the latest version, but you can always check like which one is the latest. This exacheck utility provides you various information related to your database server, your storage server, or InfiniBand switches, grid infrastructure, and database and ASM related checks. It also provides a maximum ability architecture scoreboard, and it helps for any kind of software planner or software pre-checks or database critical issues or alerts. So we recommend to run exacheck utilities basically monthly or like week before any planned maintenance activity, or day before any planned maintenance activity, or immediately after completion of planned maintenance activity or an outage or incidents. So just from the best practice point, like if you have not installed the exacheck, like you should be installing it and trying to get the output from both the nodes. So just summarizing, what we have seen is like understanding the patching facilities in Exadata Cloud Service. We also discussed about like what are various manual patching scenarios which are applicable, like DST upgrades or Java virtual machine patching kind of scenario, or one of patches which is very specific for your environment. We looked at XRCS quarterly release updates, and also we discussed about like tools which provides you methods to apply as well as rollback patches. We also discussed about the various log files which could be useful, especially for troubleshooting or understanding any known issues for patching. The best practices we discussed, like they are not like needed before attempting, but it is always good to have. And understanding of any exacheck for pre and post patching or upgrade scenarios. So with this one, I will do a short demo on like how to do these patches. Not necessarily like the patching takes time, so I will just take you through one of the a screen where I was running these commands to provide you a view on that. So I pulled out my screen here. I was attempting few of the patching related commands. So as I said, like exadbc patch multi is the API or the binary or tool behind the patching activity. But you can also use Diva CLI. Diva CLI has ability to basically manage all the life cycle of a database operation. So for running that one, you will log into your node. In my case, I have logged into my first compute node, and I have executed the command diva CLI. So it shows me that diva CLI version is 18.23.10, and then you can use commands like patch dblist -oh, and then the host name and the database home. So I have several database homes available in my environment. Like you see here, I have BMS prod, I have a database home, I have another database home here, 1210 database home. So these are all different homes, so you can specify for the database where you are planning for this patching. So once you specify this command, it will run it. It shows that XRCS patching, and it has checked the inventory and found few available patches. So in my case, it is returning patch ID 27968010, which is nothing but database 12.10.18.07.17 database patch for database and in memory. So nothing but July 2018 patch. Again, like it found like another patch is available, which is October 2018, and then another one for Jan 2019, and the last one is for April 2019. So obviously, like it is a decision which one you want to do. All the patches are cumulative, so probably you want to go with the latest one, right? April 2019 patch. And this command also provide you basically the option to use. uh, it says install database patch using dbcli patch dbapply with the patch id, and this is one of the example, like 2796. uh, this is the first patch, right? 27968010. So you can specify the patch id, uh, any patch, like whatever you have decided to apply for, right? So that's 2019 Jan or April patch. uh, this provides just an information, and you need to also pass the database name along with it, right? So hyphen db names, and provide the database name from the list. So in my case, I have BMS prod, which is running on both the cluster. Probably I want to provide that. So next command, I'm showing you that you can do a prerequisite before attempting the patch, and for doing that, I have specified patch db prereq, and with the patch id, this is the patch id which I want to validate if I can successfully apply, and with the database name as BMS prod. So this command takes a little time. It will get executed. It will do all the checks for the database name which you have specified here, and you can track this one. Basically, there is a log file which will tell you the progress of that. So in this case, var opt oracle log exadbc patch and patch.log will show you all the details which is going behind the scene. Otherwise, like you need to do several checks, right, to validate if we are able to patch the environment. And if everything looks good, then it will tell you the prerequisite check is completed successfully and you are ready to apply the patch. So let me show you like how these logs look like. Let me increase the font a bit. So it goes through several checks here. When I issue the command of pre-check, uh, it is not only just telling you by looking into the system, it basically downloads the patch, right? It will check for like if the O patch is current or not, and then like it downloads the related patch, O patch, as well as the actual patch on the system. So this is the command output, right? So it goes through all of these checks. So it checks for database, all the PDBs within the database. It will check for the component status of the database. Then several other commands, how much space is available and all of that, from grid home it will identify using OLS nodes which one is your first node. So just to give you a view, like different patches which is needed for the environment, it will download them, it will extract it, and then using opatch utility it will validate. So this is what it is doing, like it has upgraded even the opatch. And as I said, like it uses the scfs mount point, right? So it created a file with respect to each the database home which we are going to pass for your pre-check or apply kind of operation. So it downloaded this patch which is nothing but opatch, and then it extracted it. Then like after extraction of that, like it also downloaded the patch from this one. Like this is my object storage, from where like it got the patch 288.33531. So this patch is coming from object storage within the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. it was able to download this patch was roughly 45 MB. It got downloaded here under SCFS directory, and then it has like extracted it. Uh, and then like it does all of the apply related. So the idea of this one is to, it does all of the prerequisite checks. It will confirm that check is passed or failed, and then it gives you a confidence before you apply that patch. So you should be looking at exadbc patch completed successfully message, and then like if everything looks good, like you can go ahead and apply the patch. So in this example, I've just validated my other patch also, and it did the check and said that you are ready to apply the patch. So if you want to go ahead with doing the patch, the commands are already here. Patch db apply, you specify the patch ID name, and then you can pass the database names to it. So that will be taking some time, and I just wanted to show you like how easy it is to get this done from here. So I hope you find this video useful. I will try to summarize. We taken a look at exadbc patch multi, and different methods like listing a patch or applying, doing a prerequisite check, rolling it back. So the exadbc patch multi is the tool behind the scene, and there are different methods also, like dbus cli also provides you a way to do that. Internally it uses exadbc patch multi, and the same log locations and things for you to verify them. uh, so hopefully like this will be useful, and uh, I will expect you will be interested in other modules which is going to come out soon around APIs and CLIs on Exadata Cloud Service. So thank you so much for your time, and have a good day.